Hello and welcome back to Melbourne Airport and of course Airport CEO. Today the name of the game is services. We are going to be trying to cater to as many services as possible for our medium aircraft. But before we get into that, I want to address an issue that we have down here. So currently, if we have ramp agents, say, working over at this baggage claim area, they need to come all the way out through security into this staff room to be allowed to rest. And I wasn't aware that they actually needed a staff room to operate and be happy, but apparently they do. So that is what we're going to address. We're going to put in a little staff room just up here, fill out this little blank part of the terminal a little bit more, and get that up and running so our staff don't have to traverse through security every time they want to, take a break. So let's go ahead and get that planned out. I don't think this needs to be particularly large. I would like to leave at least an 8 gap, and I think we can absolutely do that. I mean, there's no real reason we can't make this pretty big. We could probably even throw in another set of toilets in here as well, another bathroom. We did something like this and like this. I don't think that's unreasonable. We make this like a nice little central bathroom for everyone if they need it. And then this can be our nice little staff waiting area. So that should be good if we go ahead and grab just a nice large door, I suppose. If we can get this somewhat centered. 4 on that side, 4 on that side. That should be fine. And then just a little door for the bathroom as well. And yeah, we can put that in the middle. That'll be absolutely a-okay. We'll go ahead and zone these out and get these built up. And we'll be back in a little bit, starting off with an early time lapse in this episode. And I think something like that should do us. We just need enough seating for people to come in and chill out. Put in some desks in case anyone needs to be in here, like our actual executive committee. I'm not 100% sure if they prefer to be in the secure area or the other area. The other thing someone mentioned was the fact that we can actually use staff zones to make these a little bit more orderly so people aren't just sort of wandering everywhere. Like, these people look just like ants going absolutely all over the place, and I think that is something I want to do eventually, potentially in the redesign. At this stage, it seems like a pretty gargantuan task to figure out roads for everyone for these people to walk on. But yeah, that is something that I am aware of and I might do later on. Let's get these all painted in my ugly yellow colors. I know you guys love them oh so much. And then we'll get everything like the tables and the chairs all in this nice dark mahogany that doesn't match our yellow couches at all. We'll figure out a better color scheme for this eventually, but for now, this will do. It'll function, and that's realistically all we care about for the moment. Functionality. Because we're trying to make as much money as we can so that we can actually rip this entire thing down and do a complete redesign at some point, and we will, yes, at that point fix this runway going into the terminal, but for now it's going to stay where it is, and you guys are going to just have to deal with that one, so apologies for that. Also, if the energy is a little bit lower this morning, that is because I am recording this at 4:30 in the morning. Yay for shift work, and I apologize if the energy is a little bit lower than it normally is. But with that all being said, we have our brand new staff room. Let's just double check that this is all actually accessible. And it looks like it is, and that should be working a-okay. We do have a couple people working in here, so it seems like putting these desks in wasn't the worst idea in the world. We have some people using this room as well, and that is good. I want to make sure that contractors aren't allowed in here because they tend to jam up the works, and we don't really care about them anyway. They can just all stand over here, walking around, doing their own contractor thing. But now let's go and get on with the meat of the episode, putting in some services. And I think one of the easiest ones to start with is probably going to be waste disposal. And I'm thinking we can probably put this in around, maybe we lift it up bit. Somewhere here, I think, will be okay. We just need to make sure that is connected to a service road. It should be easy enough to do. Just go ahead and connect this straight over. We'll have that little offshoot coming down there for that. And then I think this one is also just going to come straight over, and we can connect this down as well. We might find another little building or something that we can put in here at some point, but for now that should be good. And as far as I know, we don't really have to do much else for waste disposal. We just need to get a waste truck, I believe. Let's have a look in our vehicles here. Purchase vehicles. We turn off all and we say we want aircraft. Yeah, we just need some cabin cleaning trucks, which shouldn't be too hard to do. Let's say we get 5 of those. We need vehicle checkpoint, vehicle depot, and a waste depot. So this just needs to be built before we can order those vehicles, and we should be good. Let's have a look at who we are missing. It's still saying we're missing some janitors, but I don't think that is actually the case. Although we only have 14, I feel like we've hired way more than that. Let's go ahead and hire a couple more janitors and a couple more passenger service agents, and that should get us up and running there. So we want janitors, and we'll just hire anyone who's half decent, and also passenger service agents. Let's grab a bunch of them. We don't really mind about paying their wages. They really aren't that expensive to operate, so that should be absolutely fine. As soon as this gets built, we'll get some trucks to service our medium stands, and that should be good to go. Let's have a look at our contracts, see if this is actually filling up a little bit more. It's filling up a little bit, but not a ton. We turn off small and large. What are these? Are these all just domestic flights? Because if they are, I feel like we should be running them. Yeah, that's all domestic. These guys have 9 flights available. 8 flights from here. I feel like these should be filling up a little bit more than they are. These ones are actually international, so we can't service those just yet. That might be part of the reason this isn't filling up, but for the moment, I want to go into my offered contracts, filter by airlines, and take basically just a bunch of the higher level contracts here so that we can get some more medium aircraft in our thing. I'll take a couple of 2-stars as well, just to hopefully fill that out a little bit more. We'll just take a bunch and hopefully they don't mind too much. Another 4-star, that should be okay. I also want to quickly go into our fees and drop everything back down to green. Because people are, that's what's really dropping our rating at the moment, is our fees are very, very high. So we'll drop these down basically until everything is green. We have a quick little emergency. We should be able to slot them in with no problems whatsoever. They're down the bottom for some reason. And we'll slot them in there. Say confirm. And they'll get jammed in there. And we can deal with that emergency real quick. But I'll go ahead and lower all these fees and be back in a sec. Now, that will overall lower our hourly income just a little bit, but I honestly don't think it's going to be too bad. Was this aircraft the one that had the problem? Because it really should be going into here. We are not yet resolved. It wasn't this one, right? Where is that plane going? I don't know. But it should be going into here. I believe 25 is... they're backwards. Okay, so that's something I didn't realize. This stand should actually have auto planner on, and 25 should have the auto planner off. And that way, stand 25, which is actually this one, will be the one that handles our emergencies furthest away from everything because, you know, it's not going to be used very often. That is all good to go. Our waste depot is done. We're going to request pickup at about 80% just so that it doesn't get full ever. And we can go into our vehicles and grab ourselves some cabin cleaning trucks. And we're going to get 5. We have 9 stands, so sort of 4 probably would have been plenty. 1 cabin cleaning truck per 2 stands would have been okay, but we have a spare. just in case we need it. So that should be a-okay. As soon as they come in, we'll make sure to assign them to this vehicle depot. We have 15 spaces available. They have all arrived. And now we can go in here and say aircraft. We want the cleaning trucks to be assigned in here. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. And I believe that is everyone that we need in there ready to go. So we can jump into our operations and say aircraft cleaning services are now enabled. You can now get cleaned. Looks like you are not yet getting cleaning, but our next plane in should. So I'll fast forward a little bit until our next plane lands and we'll make sure that is all working the way it should be. You can see this plane coming on in. F4 is the key to hide the UI. Thank you for whoever reminded me of that in the comments. I know that I did mention it in one of the previous episodes, but I completely blanked on that, so thank you for reminding me. This plane will come on in to our second medium stand here. And if I press F4 again, we can get this menu back up. And cleaning is in progress. I believe that's this truck. Yes, it is. Let's just make sure that everything goes smoothly here, as that truck clearly just drives straight into that airplane. It's fine. It looks like stuff is happening. Trash bag 0 of 500. But I believe it is doing its job. We have a look here, 12%. Hopefully this should start actually taking stuff off in a second. There we go. Now it's working. Trash bags, 19%. Perfect. I believe that's all we need to do. It fills up to 190. Let's just follow this vehicle back to the depot here. See how full that gets us. It should have only been the one vehicle. They are not actually going to go to the depot yet. They must fill up as soon as the truck fills up. Actually haven't used the cleaning before, so this is all new to me, but it looks like that is working absolutely perfectly, and we can go ahead and get started on our next service after we check what's wrong with our stuff. Still need more ramp agents? Really? That is very surprising to me, but okay. Grab anyone who's half decent. Okay, grab all you, and then train everyone to be much better. That is everyone fully trained. We should now hopefully have enough ramp agents. We have a surplus. We are doing pretty well with our surpluses. We are pretty much bang on the money. Janitors are going to fluctuate a little bit depending on the jobs that they have to do at the time. This was fixed in the last episode. It completely cleared out by the time I ended the episode, but it looks like we are backed up again. So a subway terminal might be in our near future to just help with this whole mess of queuing for the bus stops. I really wish they would fill up these waiting areas rather than, you know, queuing back into the terminal. Like if they all just took a seat in these, this line would be nowhere near as big. I don't understand why they choose to do it that way, but it is what it is, I suppose. So what do we want to offer next? If we go into our operations, we can offer de-icing. I don't think I want to do that just yet. We are in Melbourne. It doesn't get super icy very often. You can see here we're at 6.2 degrees. It's really not that bad. It's really not that bad. Yeah. None of these are below zero. I think we're okay in terms of de-icing for the moment. I believe it is good money, but I mean, how often are we really going to use it? You guys let me know how often we will actually use de-icing in this airport. That would be much appreciated. But the next thing is probably going to be catering, which should be easy enough, but it does require a public road connection to operate. So if we jump in here and we say we want to get a catering depot, and we'll probably put it in something like this, I think, right next to our trash, which is probably not the most hygienic idea in the world, but it is what it is. Grab ourselves a service road coming in this side, and then we need a public road coming in here. And I think the way that I'm going to do this is grab ourselves a road tunnel and say road tunnel down, and just connect that up to there. Jump underground and figure out a way that we can potentially route this so that it's not completely ridiculous. Actually, you know what? Let's turn that around the other way. I changed my mind. Because if we turn this around the opposite direction, and we say road tunnel down, going this way, we can jump underground and basically say go straight out this way, jump up above ground again. We'll need to remove a part of this fence, I imagine. But then we can just simply add a world tunnel entrance right here, wherever this lines up. So right there. Can we actually do this underground? We can. Okay. So we don't have to go above ground at all. We can just simply connect that straight up to there. And that will give a little back entrance for basically our food deliveries, I suppose. And then I think it's just the same situation, right? We go into our vehicles, go to purchase vehicles, and we say we need some catering trucks as soon as they have built this depot. And I believe it's as easy as that. So we'll just wait for this to get built and wait for our underground to get built as well. And we should be ready to rock and roll. I didn't realize that you could put these world tunnels underground. That would have made this so much easier. We wouldn't have had to do the tunnel down here. We could have just done an entrance underground, but I mean, we have it now, so why change it? But yeah, as soon as this is all built up, we should be able to go ahead and order ourselves some stuff. And a resupply at 50%, I feel like that's a reasonable thing to do. And I don't know about this. This is the tempo at which meals are prepared. We'll keep an eye on this as we go, but we are going to need some catering trucks, and I'm only going to do 4 of these. I feel like I probably should have only done 4 of the cabin cleaning trucks as well. And you know what? Let's just sell one. Let's just sell one. You are idling. That should be fine. I feel like 2 stands per 1 truck should be more than enough. But we'll keep an eye on it. If we have any issues, we can always adjust that again later. So we have those now. If we go in here, we can say vehicle overview. Catering trucks will assign all of these to this depot as well, because they're only going to be servicing our medium stands, not our small stands. And I believe we should now be able to just go in here and say we need a catering supplier. Okay, so we'll go into economy, offered contracts, and we will say catering food supplies. And I mean, I imagine the 5-star ones are the best. 56 per delivered food item. 59. Or 42. 42 seems pretty cheap to me. Yeah, I'm good with 42. They will deliver 2,572 food items per delivery. That might be a lot. 2,572. Let's have a look at our depot. It can currently hold more than that. So we are happy to go ahead and accept that contract, I think. For 42 cents per delivered food item. We'll sign that, and let's look at our fees here. If we have a look at we don't have a thing for catering. Oh yes, we do. Catered meals is $5, so we're making like $4.50 per catered meal. I think that's pretty good. So now that we have that contract, we should be able to jump back into operations and say aircraft catering service enabled. And we've basically got everything right now. The only thing we are missing is the de-icing. We could probably set that up for our medium runways, but we would have to go ahead and purchase this tile here to be able to have enough room to do that for our small stands. So I don't see a reason why we couldn't set that up for our medium runways, but let's just check that our catering is working for the moment. We'll wait for the next plane to come on in and land, and we'll follow that through. Make sure it is getting food. Our waste is working absolutely perfectly. Got to be happy with that. I love when things work out first try. I'll be back. Oh, no, I won't. Let's follow this this airplane. They are requesting catering, so that is absolutely fantastic. We'll go ahead and follow them into this. And yeah, we are giving them absolutely everything that they need. I imagine this is where de-icing would show up if it was required, but it is currently not required. Catering is in progress, but I don't believe the truck is here yet. Let's just keep an eye out, see what shows up and what doesn't. Should have some more stuff coming in soon. There's a belt loader there. And fast forward a little bit. We should see some trucks coming over soon. I guess they've got quite a long way to go actually. They need to come from here, go jump all the way up to here, and then come all the way back down. Potentially we should add in another depot, like here somewhere, so that they can just come in, grab the food, and come back down. But we could definitely do that in a little bit here. And what are you? You're another belt loader, I believe. Should see some food coming in here at some point. I don't know why we just have the large pullback truck there. I feel like that should have been a belt loader, but I guess that is what it is. And we have catering truck arrived and filling up the plane. That is done. That was nice and quick. And now we just have boarding in progress and then pushback, and we should be set to fly. Let's go ahead and track this aircraft and we can watch it take off. It's always nice if I can actually track it properly. We do have a little bit of an emergency, but that's nothing we actually have to deal with manually, so that should be fine. Go ahead and follow this aircraft as it takes off from Melbourne Airport. And we get an achievement for doing that. We have perform a turnaround with all services included. So that is absolutely fantastic. That really didn't take as long as I thought it might. So that is cool. And away it goes. Perfect. That seems to be running absolutely flawlessly. Let's go ahead and add in another depot up here. I think that is going to be useful. I believe that is in aircraft infrastructure. Yeah, vehicle depot. And that is so close. If we moved this up, we could absolutely fit that in there. But honestly, I don't see a reason to not just throw it in like right here, because that makes the trip like a nice round trip, right? They'll come out here, grab some food, come back down here and fill up the planes with that food. So that should work out just as well. Go ahead and make sure that they have a service road, and that is in the wrong place. Grab the vehicle depot. That needs to go, nope, still in the wrong place. There. And then we can grab our service road and connect that up to the rest of our network. And that should be our services pretty much done and dealt with. I'm just going to fill in some of these little empty areas here with some concrete because I don't like the way that it looks. Those little gaps. And I might do the same thing back here, up to here and across there, just to make this like a nice little square unit that just looks a little bit nicer. Still not super beautiful, but it will absolutely do. And that emergency was dealt with. Absolutely no problems at all. So I think the next thing we should probably get started on in this episode, which I wasn't sure we were going to have time for, but it looks like we will, is getting in some helicopters down here. I feel like we have a great space down here to be able to handle that. And that'll be fun because I actually haven't dealt with any helicopters before. Wait for this to finish building, make sure that everything looks nice, which it does not because I forgot to add in a little bit of concrete in front of the vehicle depot. That will make that look a little bit better, and actually under the depot as well. Yeah, there we go. That will look a little better. I don't love that this road is a different color, but it sort of is what it is. The public roads, I don't like the look of the concrete ones, mostly because you can't upgrade the entrances to a different color. So I leave them as the darker color. I feel like it looks more like a normal road, and that way I can also distinguish the difference between the two. I know that my concrete ones are service roads and my normal asphalt ones are the public roads. So that is all good. This seems to be all working just perfectly. If we have stored food and stored meals, seems like we've got a pretty decent equilibrium here. They're making enough meals to cover everything. Should be good. Should be absolutely fine, I believe. Cool. Let's jump back into our flight manager, and yeah, we are much more full now. It looks like we're missing a couple of small flights though. The small flights are lacking a little bit. Also, our ratings with some of these airlines are not fantastic, but we did just sign a bunch, so I don't know. I might leave this for the moment. But yeah, we also got another achievement for having over 2,500 passengers in the airport, which is cool. All the achievements this morning. But let's figure out helicopters. I don't really know what I'm doing here, but we'll definitely give it a go. This is our helipads. We have small and medium helipads. Medium helicopters and small helicopters. How big are these things? That's really not that bad. If I go into planning mode, what is that? That's the service desk. So this would go that way. I would like to at least have this exact same setup on the other side. So it would probably end up being somewhere around here. I'm just going to plan these out so I can see what they actually look like. These ones are a little bit larger, for sure. But yeah, that seems pretty straightforward. I don't know if these guys require any services, but I guess we'll find out, right? Worst case scenario, we basically just have to duplicate this whole thing with the baggage bays and stuff, and if we need to, we can chuck in another terminal down here. But yeah, I don't see a problem with that at all. Let's get rid of those and figure out how big this terminal needs to be. So we need at least 5 wide from this point, because I would like to have that gap on either side. So yeah, we went to say there and did something like that. That should be enough room to get everything we want in. I don't see a problem with that at all. And then we'll just basically go ahead and say demolish. Well, that's annoying. This wall is going to bug me. This wall should really be there. I guess we can just move the wall and not change the room. That should be fine for the moment. We're not going to worry about that too much. I'll probably never notice it again. But if we get rid of that wall there, that will open that up a little bit more. And delete this wall here and jump in with another wall that goes. Actually, cancel those demolitions and put the wall in there. That should be good to go. Let's go ahead and let them build that, and we'll be back in a little bit. Alright, I'm really starting to think we're going to need a subway here. It looks like... Why is no one using our car parks? Like, no one's using them even a little bit. The traffic's not bad. We're using all of the long term. But all of the short term people, it looks like are using the buses instead. Can we raise the fees on the buses? Don't think that's a thing that we can do. We can only do the parking. And we lowered the price too. That really makes absolutely no sense to me. Yeah, subway stations, bus stops, or similar. I really don't understand why people aren't using our car parks anymore. They can still get there, right? Display walkable area. Yeah, they can absolutely still get to the car parks. That makes no sense to me. Can they still get to the underground ones? This isn't all secure zone, right? Overlay? No, they can still get to the elevators down here. That is weird. I do not understand why they are not using our car parks at all. I select all of these and then say you're now long term and then you're short term. Will people come in and use them? People try to use this instead for some reason. Mostly just people leaving and using the long term. We can at least make these two long term. Get a couple more people in, I suppose. That makes no sense. I think we're going to need the subway station anyway, but that is weird. If anyone knows why that is happening, I would love to know. Let's see. We have... Down here wouldn't be terrible. Doesn't really fit the way that I want it to. Or just in here. And I think this is what we'll do. We'll go like that and basically just put sidewalk all the way around it so that people can absolutely definitely get to it. And call that a day. there. And I think you know what? I'm going to put in some concrete here as well, just because I think it'll look a little bit better. Fill out that space just a little bit. Yes, we know passengers are struggling to leave. Hopefully this can get built nice and quickly, and then that solves all of this problem, but I really don't understand why people aren't using our parking at all. Doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. This is all short-term parking. They should be coming down here and using this. Unless they just take the shortest path, and because we added this door here, they're like, oh yeah, the bus is closer. But that's really not a far walk. I don't understand. Our subway station is built and there is now an active path towards it. Looks like we immediately have a stream of people wanting to use the subway. Holy moly, that's a lot of people using the subway. That is a lot of money that we are not getting anymore from parking. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that's the case, that they wouldn't want to use these car parks. Just like even the long term is now empty. Are all our car parks useless at this point? Hopefully these buses clear out now that we have that subway as well. We'll keep an eye on that. This is now built up though. We can probably just go ahead and copy paste this as soon as we get some heli stands in for them to use. First thing we need to do though, of course, is throw down our floor, which we are using light wood floor, I believe. I believe this is correct. Throw that in there. How's our new bathroom doing too? It's getting a little bit of use. This one's not too bad. We've definitely freed up the bathrooms a lot. Yeah. So much nicer to use the bathroom in this airport now. They were very busy in the last episode. Our staff room is getting a little bit of use as well, although this one seems to be a lot fuller. Potentially need to increase our seating capacity down here and get rid of some of these desks. But for now, we'll call that good. I'm just concerned about this queue. These car parks is just baffling me. That is baffling to me that all of a sudden no one is using our car parks. I'm going to quickly save and reload and see if that changes. I'll be back. Alright, with a little reload, let's see if people start using these car parks again. Looks like we've got one parking there. Hopefully this clears up and everything is fine, but we'll keep an eye on it as we go. Let's get started on helipads. So I'm going to start with some small ones. I feel like that's a reasonable place to start. And in this case, I actually probably want to start at this end of the terminal, just because we can wrap this road around and then we don't have to worry about the fact that we haven't built a bunch and they are not accessible to vehicles. Of course, in the end, this might actually require its own stuff, but let's start with one and just see how it goes. Let's just line these up here. Say that can go right there. And let's build it and see what sort of upgrades it has, what sort of things it needs, and go from there. So they should be able to build that relatively quickly. Alright, our first helipad is built. Let's pause the game real quick. See what we can do here. So this doesn't actually have any upgrades that we can apply to it. So this has also a general aviation and commercial. I want this closed. Switch it to commercial for the moment. They want a boarding desk, security checkpoint, and a baggage bay. So they do want baggage, but it looks like that might be it. As soon as we get our first heli in, we'll be able to see whether or not they actually need more than that. We are going to have to move this fence though. So let's go ahead and grab this fence. Actually, before we do that, let's throw in the road so we know how wide this is going to be. Service road is going to come in straight down here and go across, and we can basically build this out. I don't know where I'm going to connect this fence to, but it'll be fine. We could probably just connect it to here actually. And let's just, you know what, let's go all out and go like all the way to the edge here. That way we don't have to worry about it again. We can just have fence that runs all the way along the outside of our airport here, and we don't have to worry about it too much. That'll go in like so. Let's let them build that before we demolish the other one, just to make sure that we don't get any animals in our airport that we can run over, like that cow that was in the airport on the runway taxiway the other day. So let's get them building that and we'll be back in a little bit. All right, our fences are out of the way so we can go in and connect up this. So, well, our fences are not finished being demolished yet. I thought they were. Hopefully we can get some workers out here to fix that up real quick. Come on, we just need like 3 pieces of fence to be removed and we can get this in. Of course, they do every one that I don't want them to do first. There's 1 in, 2 in. That is now connected. Of course, we are going to need a baggage bay in here as well. And honestly, I don't see a reason to not put it in the exact same place as this one. For now, we'll just run a service road along this entire thing, basically, just up until those service bays. And, oh, these baggage bays. And I think, honestly, just 1 should be fine. So we'll go ahead and throw that in real quick to make sure we demolish enough wall to get that done. And I think I'll put it in over here. I believe that is the space that we need, and we'll let them do that. Alright, we have another issue that is coming up here. We need some more pushback trucks, some more belt loader trucks, and also it's saying that we need 9 more baggage trucks, which doesn't make any sense to me. We should have more than enough baggage trucks to go around. Are they sitting in here for some reason? No. We do need to move our catering trucks though, so let's do that real quick. Our catering trucks can be assigned to this depot instead, which is depot 3, I believe. Yeah. Move our catering trucks around. And then in terms of our baggage, we have 8 baggage trucks. I don't understand how we would need more than that. I can see how we might need 4 more belt loader trucks, but the baggage trucks should be handling that absolutely no problem at all. Let's grab small hauler belt loaders. Let's grab 4 more of those. And grab a couple more pushbacks as well, because I think that is necessary. Let's grab 4 of them in as well, and that should sort us out, I believe. I believe that'll be enough. So we'll let this run, and hopefully that is fine. It's also saying we need more passenger service agents. So much hiring. So much hiring. Do these people quit? Is that what's happening? Do they slowly quit over time? We have our new vehicles in. We can go ahead and sort them out. So we have our pushback trucks that are unassigned. We can assign them to this depot here. I wish you could sort by unassigned. That would make this a lot easier. Vehicle depot 2, everyone here is assigned. Let's go to the next page and make sure these guys are also assigned to this depot. And then we also have, what was the other thing? Baggage trucks. So we've got a bunch of new, like that, baggage trucks, new belt loaders. So these also can be assigned here. That should be a-okay. Get enough so that everyone can do their jobs. Everyone except you are assigned, I believe. Yes. That should hopefully sort that problem out. I feel like the baggage trucks being requested means that, like, it was pushback jobs that were available. I mean, not the pushbacks, but the belt loaders that were available. It's still saying we need 9 more baggage trucks. I don't understand. Why do we need so many baggage trucks? You guys can let me know why it's requesting that I have 11 more baggage trucks than I currently have when I already have 8 and I only have 10 stands. Like, surely that should be enough, right? I guess I'll grab some more just in case it's not, but if anyone knows why that would be the case, let's grab 4 more. That should be able to sort that problem out. Like 13 jobs. Is it just because they're backed up? Do we not have enough staff here or something? Or are they not being able to get to their locations? What is happening? And why is it happening? Let's go ahead and assign those as well. They are going to be assigned to this one. We could assign them to an individual stand, if that would make a difference. I am not sure. I am not sure even a little bit. But this is almost done, which is good news. We have a very busy airport right now. Still no one's using our parking, which is absolutely fantastic. Seems like they're using the long term, so I went ahead and made these two long term as well. I'll make this one long term as well, in the hopes that we get a little bit of money from parking. We are still making decent money. We have like 1.5 million in the bank, but yeah, I am confused. And we'll go ahead now that that has been demolished. We can throw in another baggage bay. This needs to be a secure zone, of course. Can't forget that. To do that little section there, and then we can do the rest of this. That should be good. This should automatically connect, but I guess it doesn't. We'll throw in a door. A door. We don't want windows. We're gamers here. Guys, I will put windows in eventually, I promise. And then, is this also secure zone? Yes, it is. We just need to put in the flooring for that. Like so, and then we can go ahead and get our baggage bay in. Right there. With our service roads as well. Service road, and then surround it with some walls. Just to make you guys a little bit happier. And that should be good to go. We just need to quickly change out the floor in this section. Like so. And then, where are we going from this? I mean, we can route from here into that. So that shouldn't be an issue. Let me just go ahead and set up this conveyor system and we'll be right back. Alright, that should be good. We have luggage coming in, going into there, and then also being routed out to this baggage bay, which we did not set up correctly because we need to have a baggage claim area there. And then I also would like to have zones and rooms, and say in the middle of these is staff zone, so that people don't wait in the center of them walking over our baggage base. We can go ahead and connect this up to our baggage area. That is now open. This is now open. We'll have only two for now because we only have the one object here. This is probably going to require, I imagine the helis require a baggage, like not the belt loader, but the other one. So let's go ahead. We're probably going to need another depot, which is a lot of depots. But we can throw in a depot like over here somewhere, and that should work out. And we'll throw in a baggage truck that is just assigned to this helipad, so that that's its only job. That should be okay. And then we also need to go ahead and grab ourselves our little waiting area over here. We just go ahead and copy and paste basically that. We should be able to come all the way over here, rotate this around, and I think I would like it to be the opposite way. So we'll go like that, and then grab ourselves our copy paste tool back and just move these over to in front of the door. And that will be our layout for over here. And that should work out nicely. As soon as those are built, we can connect them. This still needs a security checkpoint, which it should have, unless, of course, this didn't become a secure zone, which it did. It should be good. As soon as we connect those check-in desks, I believe that will work. I believe. I do want to go ahead and order myself one more pull force baggage truck just for this helipad, just to test it out, make sure it's all working the way that we think it will. And how we're doing, it's still saying we have 4 more jobs available for baggage trucks, 1 more pushback truck, and 1 more belt loader, although that belt loader is about to equalize. don't understand. I don't understand. Now, where is our unassigned vehicle here? Unassigned, you are assigned to that. Oh, it's not built yet. Now it is. Now we can do the thing. Jump in here, grab our unassigned vehicle, baggage truck to there. And grab ourselves some concrete as well. Because for some reason these don't have concrete in front of them or underneath them. I don't understand why. And then we can grab all of these and say connect to that. You should now be working. If we open you and go into our flight planner here, small helicopter stand is automatically auto-activated. The only thing I'm curious about, do we have any helicopters in these? Because these are all just like small and medium aircraft, right? How do we get helis in here? Is there like a there we go. Found them. So let's go ahead and sign a contract with a helicopter contractor. Jump it back into our flight planner and see if that worked out the way we wanted it to. Jump over to Saturday. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Hopefully soon we see a heli flight pop up in here and get our first heli in. Do we have to enable that? No, that's all fine. It should be working. Baggage bay is connected. This is all built. This doesn't have a vehicle in it. I wonder if now that that is connected, we can assign that vehicle. Vehicle depot 4, we cannot connect it to that. That's interesting. I wonder what vehicle this requests for baggage. Yeah, I'm not sure. Custom settings, anything interesting? No. Okay. To our flight planner, still nothing. Who was it that we just signed that heli contract with? I do not remember. Economy, accepted contracts, helijet, helicopters. Flight planner? Helijet, helijet, helijet. There you are. It's not auto-populating, but we can potentially throw... Are these medium? Rough size. Doesn't tell me. Of course it doesn't. Are these just all medium helicopters? Oh, there we go. They auto-populated. We're good. We're good. So now we can just go ahead and jump into a little time lapse and make sure this is actually working. Because like I said, I haven't played with helicopters before, so this is all brand new to me. I hope you guys don't mind figuring this out along with me and giving me tips in the comments if you have any. I much appreciate it. We should have helicopters coming in any second. We'll jump into a time lapse. And we have our first heli landing here. Let's go ahead and hide that UI so we can see this cool little animation. Come in straight from above. Nice, nice, nice. And touchdown. Perfect. They are requesting deboarding, service round, baggage unloading, and refueling. It looks like they can request cleaning, catering, and baggage loading, but I'm not 100% sure if they will. Let's just see how this goes. We'll keep an eye on it, and I will pause the time lapse if anything comes and helps to service this helicopter. Okay, we have fuel coming in. We also have the pull force baggage trucks, which is what I thought was going to happen. I'm a little bit sad that they sort of don't separate. We might have to separate our service roads at some point when we completely redesign this to make sure that, you know, vehicles from this depot aren't going and servicing this stand, for instance, because I feel like that's where our main issue lies at the moment. But it looks like everything is working just fine. Service round in progress. Do we need a...
a hangar for the helis? Or no? Is there a hangar for the helis? You go to aircraft hangar. Don't have any there. No, it doesn't look like it. A little emergency that is nothing serious. This is getting refueled. Baggage unloading in progress. Is it though? Because they don't seem to be doing much. Do we just not have enough staff for that? Ramp agents. 19 more ramp agents? Really? Okay. What do ramp agents actually do? Are they the ones that do the baggage and stuff? Because that might be why we're struggling with the amount of vehicles that we have. Let's just hire everyone who's not red and then train all staff as usual. Get them all trained up as much as we can, and hopefully someone comes and actually does the baggage on this. Finally, someone's come out to do this baggage handling here. That took a lot longer than it should. I think we definitely need some more ramp agents. I believe that's what this guy is. Let's have a look. Yeah, ramp agents do the baggage, so we definitely need some more of them. I feel like that is the issue we're having with not having enough baggage trucks. We should probably also get some more fuel trucks for Jet A1 because that is struggling a little bit too. So more ramp agents it is. Hire you, reject you, train everyone. You know the drill by now. And then we'll also grab ourselves, what was it? Jet A1 fuel. So fuel, Jet A1 with the Maverick. We'll grab 2 more of those and that should be okay. That heli did leave. And we've got another one coming in immediately. Hopefully this gets sorted a little bit quicker. We still do have a shortage of ramp agents, and it's saying we have 138 janitor jobs available, so we should probably sort that out as well. Looks like these guys are not requiring cleaning or catering though, so that is good, I suppose. Fuel truck coming in. Let's go ahead and keep hiring staff, I suppose. More ramp agents, please. I just need everyone. Everyone, please. I will take you all. We're also having a slight monetary problem here. Oh, no, we're good. I thought we were starting to lose money, but I think that might have just been because we were building stuff. We are still making $40,000 an hour, so that is good. Let's have a look in here. Do we still need more ramp agents? We've finally equalized on ramp agents. I will still grab some more just to have a little bit of backlog. I think that is better safe than sorry in that regard. Yeah, you'll do. You'll do, I suppose. You won't. But it looks like we have helis up and running. I don't believe there's much else that we need to do there. But I think I will grab a couple more of those pull force trucks. Just so that we have a little bit of a backlog. Let's grab 8 more. And hopefully that sorts us out. I really don't think I think the baggage truck situation was just because we didn't have enough ramp agents. But I'm not sure. We should also probably grab a couple more janitors as well. And that should be a-okay, I believe. I think. I hope. We have 272 staff for around 3,000 passengers. That seems about right, about 10%. 1 staff for every 10 people. Passenger service agents we still potentially need some more of. Security officers we're fine. Service technicians we are fine. Still saying we need more ramp agents though. I just want all of them. Give me all of the ramp agents that you can. I want my planes to be unloaded and reloaded as quickly as possible. So that, you know, everything gets moving on time and we're not having major delays in our airport like every other airport in the world. I do like the helicopters though. We'll definitely add some more of them along here once things sort of equalize a little bit, because we are struggling a little bit at the moment. We are all green there. Let's have a look at our vehicles. Yeah, now we only have 18 jobs. We have 21 baggage trucks available. I think we're getting somewhere. Still saying we need janitors every now and then, but I think we are okay. I think this has been a long episode figuring some stuff out, so I'm going to leave this one here. If you are enjoying the series, if you are enjoying the helicopters, you're enjoying all the services we added today, please do make sure to go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment. For the sake of engagement, leave that comment. And if you can become a member, the membership drive is almost up. By the 25th, we will draw that giveaway. So if you haven't become a member yet, please make sure you do that if you want to. And yeah, until next time, happy building, happy flying. Bye, guys.